Hello, welcome to this podcast, World in Crisis. This is the first podcast that we do, and that's why I wanted to a little bit introduce ourselves and the podcast topic. I'm Andreen. I'm Swedish, living in France, member of the Mises Institute for many years now. So I'm writing on the Mises Institute website. I'm libertarian, and I'm also writing on Substack, focused a bit more on international relations and geopolitics. Kevin, let's go. Who are you?
So I'm Kevin Batcho. I'm an American living in Belgium for 30 years. I'm a retired international architect, and I write on the Substack Beyond the Wasteland on geopolitics through the lens of philosophy, psychology, theology, and ancient history.
Great. So I think we saw through our writings that we have quite a few things in common, and we look at the world in this kind of eclectic and transversal way, and I think it can lead to very interesting discussions. So, world in crisis. When we were thinking about the topic for our podcast, we were thinking about, of course, liberty. And personally, I'm very much attached to liberty and the struggle for liberty, which is something that must go on constantly. But I think it's also important to focus on the crisis that's going on in the world, and this crisis is also a crisis of liberty. So that's why I think we decided to call this podcast "The World in Crisis," because we are living really through very important events, and we will go through these events and what's the background of these events in our different podcasts. That's why we chose a logo as well, which is a logo showing a setting sun, which means that all hope is not gone, right? But it's a sun that's very low on the horizon. It's a sun that is covered by mist, and it shows also that if the sun represents the light, represents truth, justice, liberty, we can see that this sun is not very high in the sky, right? And this is very troubling, and that's also why we need to make this podcast to try to explain our view and to show to more and more people what are the problems, right? What is the crisis that we are living through? So I'll let you add anything you want, Kevin.
Yeah. Yes, in the image, it's also could be ambiguous. Perhaps it's a dawn, because after each setting sun, after each crisis, there's a new birth, a new order takes over. And so, one of the themes that we'll look at in these series of podcasts is the transition, potential transition from a unipolar US-led world into a more multipolar, even multinodal a new style of global organization. But this is going to be a slow process, and we'll give a lot of theoretical background to it, among other things. I mean, from the liberty point of view, on the global order, it's easy for a nation state because you have the archetypical tyrant and the people trying to free themselves. Some of the global order could be seen. Some people will see America as the tyrant and wanting to be free. There's always another side to that, though, is that the tyrant holds everything together. So there will be periods of chaos if indeed we go from unipolar to multipolar.
Yeah, that's right. So let's leave it there for this introduction and see you on this exciting adventure of podcasts to analyze the world in crisis. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Finn.